Ever look back on a year and wonder where it went? Like time just vanished? The days blur, the weeks blend, and the months? Gone in a blink. As a kid, a single summer felt endless. Now, it's October before you've even unpacked spring. Why does time feel like it's speeding up as we age? This isn't just nostalgia. This isn't just getting older. This is real. This is perception. And today, on BrainTrap TV, we're not just asking why. We're asking, how do we slow it down? Because if you could stretch time, if you could make the next year feel as full as your most vivid childhood memory, wouldn't you wanna? Let's go back to the beginning. When you were 5, a year was 20% of your entire life. At 30, that same year is just over 3%. At 60, less than 2. It's called the proportional theory. The idea that as you age, each new year becomes a smaller fraction of your total experience. But it's more than just math. It's memory. It's emotion. It's attention. Because time doesn't fly by. We just stop noticing it. Think about your firsts. Your first day of school. Your first heartbreak. Your first time driving a car. Each of those moments carved a memory. Deep, lasting, full of detail. Why? Because your brain was awake, fully alert, engaged in something new. Novelty stretches time, and repetition collapses it. That's why childhood feels longer. Every day, something new. But now, it's work, commute, dinner, sleep, repeat. You stop creating new memories, and the days disappear. But here's the twist. Time perception isn't just about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside you. Your brain is a time machine, not in the sci-fi sense, but in how it processes experience. And as you age, your brain literally slows down. Fewer dopamine hits, less novelty, lower attention span, less encoding of new memories. And so, time shrinks. But it doesn't have to. Because if your brain is a time machine, that means you can hack it. You can stretch time. You can make your days feel longer, more vivid, more alive. But first, you have to understand the illusion. Time isn't just hours and minutes. It's emotional, psychological. It bends, contracts, expands. When you're bored, time crawls. When you're terrified, it slows. When you're joyful, it flies. But when you reflect on those moments later, it's the opposite. The rich, emotional moments feel long in hindsight. The dull, repetitive ones, gone. Like they never happened. Your brain doesn't measure time by the clock. It measures by density. How much did you feel? How much did you notice? How much did you remember? That's why vacations feel longer than work weeks. Why a single weekend in a new city feels longer than 2 months at your job. You were present, engaged, stimulated, and your brain captured every detail. So what does this mean? It means if you want to slow down time, you don't need more hours. You need more presence, more awareness, more newness, because it's not about how long you live. It's about how much life you fit into that time. Think about the last time you did something for the first time. When was it? If you can't remember, you're aging faster than your body knows, because your memory is starving, and your perception of time is collapsing. This is why midlife feels like a blur, because for so many people, the novelty stops. The brain goes on autopilot. The days become copies, and when you look back, there's nothing distinct to hold on to. But you can change that, because slowing down time isn't about stopping the clock. It's about changing how you fill it. And that's what we'll explore step by step in this series. The science, the psychology, the tools. So if you're tired of feeling like time is slipping through your fingers, if you want to reclaim your life, if you want to stretch your moments, stay with us. This is BrainTrap TV, where your mind isn't the problem. It's the answer. So now you know, time isn't fixed. It bends. It changes shape, and it does it inside your head. But how? What's the actual machinery that makes a year feel like a blink or a breath? To understand how to slow time, you need to understand how your brain builds it. See, your brain doesn't measure time like a stopwatch. It measures time with experience. And experience begins with attention. Let's go deeper. The hippocampus, the same part of your brain that processes memory, is also responsible for telling your brain how long something felt. So when you're in a new situation, say, hiking a trail for the first time, your hippocampus is working hard. It's noticing the smell of the trees, the shape of the clouds, the sound of your feet on the dirt. It's recording everything. It's alive. Now imagine walking that same trail every day for 5 years. Do you notice the birds anymore? The rustle of the wind? No, because the brain has labeled it as known. And when your brain stops paying attention, your memory stops recording. And when memory is low, time feels fast. It's called time compression. The more routine your life becomes, the faster it seems to go. But that's just the beginning. Because time isn't just about memory. It's about emotion. When you're afraid, truly afraid, your brain floods with adrenaline. Your senses heighten. Time slows to a crawl. You felt it in car accidents, in arguments, in the seconds before something big. Your brain does that for survival. But when you're numb, burned out, checked out, time slips. You blink and a week is gone. You scroll for 5 minutes and suddenly it's midnight. That's not time moving faster. That's you disappearing from the moment. So how do you stop it? You come back to your senses, to your breath, to the present. But let's back up for a moment. There's another trick your brain plays. It's called the telescoping effect. You remember your 21st birthday, your graduation, your first heartbreak? They feel close, closer than they really are. That's because emotional memories are stored with more weight. They stretch across time, and dull ones, they compress. That's why last Tuesday feels like it never happened, and your wedding day feels like last month, even if it was 10 years ago. It's not your age, it's your awareness. And your brain isn't the only player here. Culture plays a role, too. In the West, time is a race, a currency, a thing you lose. In other cultures, like many indigenous or Eastern philosophies, time is cyclical, fluid, alive. They don't waste time, they live in it. But we've been trained to see time as something to beat, to maximize, to hustle through, to manage like a to-do list. And in doing that, we've lost our grip on it entirely. Because time doesn't expand under pressure, it expands with presence. Let me say that again. Time doesn't expand under pressure, it expands with presence. When was the last time you sat at a window and just watched the clouds? When was the last time you lost yourself in a song, a story, a conversation? Not checking your phone, not multitasking, just being there. Those moments are where time stretches. Not because the clock slows down, but because you finally stopped running. So if time is built from memory, and memory is built from attention, then the way to slow time is to start paying attention again. Pay attention to your surroundings, to the faces you love, to your own breath. Because the brain is not a machine, it's a storyteller. And if you give it flat, colorless routines, it'll fast forward through them. But if you give it detail, emotion, novelty, it'll stretch those minutes into meaning. And that's the secret. If you want to live a longer life, don't just add years, add moments. Because in the end, your life isn't measured by how long it was. It's measured by how much you lived it. And we're not done yet. Because next, we're going to give you the tools, simple practices, powerful shifts, so you can start bending time every single day. The future is yours to stretch. So now you understand the machinery. You see the illusion. You feel the truth. Time is a story your brain writes in real time. And you are the author. But how do you slow the story down? How do you make life feel longer, richer, deeper, even when the years keep flying by? It starts here. You don't need more time. You need more presence. And presence begins with novelty. The brain craves newness. New places, new faces, new challenges. Because new means attention. And attention means memory. And memory is the architecture of time. So when was the last time you did something new? No, not big, not dramatic, just different. Took a new route to work. Tried a dish you've never had. Talked to a stranger at the park. Sat somewhere unfamiliar. Listened to music from another world. These aren't distractions. They're anchors. Tiny rebellions against the routine. Little ruptures in the monotony that force your brain to wake up. Because routine is where time disappears. Novelty is where time reappears. It's not about chasing adrenaline. It's about breaking the loop. But novelty alone isn't enough. You also need mindfulness. Not the buzzword, not the app, not the filtered Instagram version. Real mindfulness. The kind that says, I'm here, I'm noticing, I'm alive in this moment. Right now, wherever you are, stop. Listen, what do you hear? Not just the obvious. Go deeper. The hum behind the silence. The click of your breath. The whisper of your pulse. That's life. Right now, most people miss it. Because most people aren't present. They're worrying, regretting, numbing. But when you become mindful, even the smallest moment stretches. Drinking tea becomes a ritual. A walk becomes an experience. A conversation becomes a memory. That's how you build a longer life. one breath at a time. Next, break your routine. You don't need a vacation. You need to stop living the same day over and over again. Because here's the hard truth. If your days all look the same, your brain will treat them like one. And when you look back, it'll feel like time vanished. So start small. Change your schedule. Rearrange your room. Try a new cafe. Work from a different space. Start your day differently. These micro shifts reawaken the brain. And reawakened brains hold on to time. Now let's talk about the body. Because the body holds time too. And one of the fastest ways to ground yourself in the present is through movement. Exercise, stretching, dancing, even walking in silence. Physical movement is a way of saying to the mind, we're here, this matters. And when the mind listens to the body, time slows. But it gets even deeper, because nothing stretches time like storytelling. Keep a journal, not for productivity, not for performance, just to remember. Write one thing that stood out today, one thing you saw, or felt, or thought, because when you reflect, you encode. And encoded memories stick. So much of your life has disappeared not because it wasn't meaningful, but because you didn't hold on to it. So hold on. Write it down. Draw it. Voice note it. Honor it. Time isn't just lived. It's witnessed. And now we get to the core. Connection. Nothing stretches time like people. Real conversations, real presence. Laughing until you cry. Crying until you laugh. Losing track of time because someone saw you, really saw you. These moments become anchors in your memory, not because of what you did, but because of what you felt. So text that person, call them, show up, not with an agenda, just with your presence. Because in the end, time is not measured in years. It's measured in moments. And moments are made of connection. And if you need a secret weapon, try all. Stand under the stars. Watch the ocean move. Stare at a painting that makes you feel small. Listen to a song that cracks you open. Awe resets the brain. It reminds you how vast life is, how sacred, how now. And in those moments, time doesn't just slow. It stops. Because awe says, this is it. This is worth remembering. This is what living feels like. And maybe that's the answer. Maybe slowing time isn't about fighting age. Maybe it's about remembering what it means to be here, right now, in this breath, in this body, in this world. Because the truth is, time will keep moving. You will keep aging. But the depth of your life? That's up to you. So don't just add more to your schedule. Add more to your soul. Because a life filled with time is a life you'll actually remember. And that's the only kind of forever we'll ever know. And time is yours to slow. Time isn't just something you lose. It's something you forget to feel. And by the time most people realize this, it's already slipping. They look back and wonder, where did it all go? Not just the years, but the presence, the laughter, the being here. Because the real tragedy isn't that we grow old. It's that we grow numb. The moments stop registering. Not because they're not beautiful, but because we stop noticing. That's what aging really steals first, our sense of awe. But what if we could bring it back? What if slowing time was never about controlling the clock, but about changing how we live inside it? That's the question. And the answer starts with a choice. To stop drifting. To stop fast-forwarding. To stop living like time is a problem to solve. And instead, treat it like a gift to hold. To build days you remember. To fill your life with firsts again. To give your brain what it craves. Wonder, attention, emotion, story. Because the older we get, the more we realize. It's not the big things we remember. It's the smallest ones. The light coming through the window at 6 a.m. The smell of someone you loved. The sound of laughter in the kitchen. The way you felt when nobody was watching and you were still you. These are the moments that last. These are the seconds that stretch. These are the pieces of time that make your life feel full. And the best part? You can choose them. You can build them. You can slow time by showing up for it. No one will do that for you. Not your job, not your phone, not the algorithm. You have to choose presence every single day. Because one day you'll wake up and there won't be next week. There won't be another chance to slow down. There will only be what you did with the time you had. So do something different today. Anything. Take the long route. Call someone. Sit in silence. Feel your heartbeat. Make the memory on purpose. That's how you cheat time. You don't beat it. You fill it. You stretch it with meaning. You break the loop. And you remember what it's like to really live. This is BrainTrap TV. And you don't need more time. You need more moments. So go find them before they disappear.